What is going on, Wolfpack Nation? Welcome to the Tuffy Talk live show. We are here and we are rolling and we are feeling so much better as we finally got that dub. We finally got back on the right track, back in the win column where we belong, where we need to be, deserve to be, I guess. Finally, just whatever. But hey, listen, it was a gutsy win for sure. Being down 13 points into the fourth quarter, which we'll talk a little bit about here for sure. But as always, got myself, Lane Smith here with Michael Tracy, Ken's as always, and Greg will be joining us here shortly, y'all. But for those who are a little confused on who this other person is, so Carson here is officially, and it was actually announced earlier this past week that we have a new member of the team, Carson Corral. Appreciate you, Carson. Welcome to the team. Round of applause. Appreciate you joining us. You doing all right today?
Applause.
I know. Welcome the member, Michael. Make him feel welcome. Carson, what's going on, man? You doing all right?
Yeah, doing good. Just got home from the mountains this weekend, working a YMCA family camp. So really tiring, but back at state right now. Classes back again.
Nice.
So it's good. For everyone who doesn't know, I'm currently a junior at state.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just tell our viewers, listeners a little bit about you. So you said you're junior at NC State. What are you studying? Where are you from? How long you been a State fan? All that jazz. Give us a lowdown.
So I've been a State fan my whole life. Both my parents are alumni, so I grew up going to a lot of State games. I'm from the Raleigh area, grew up in Raleigh, and I'm studying sport management with a minor in journalism. I also write for The Technician, which is the school paper at State covering NC State sports. So soccer, volleyball, you name it. And one thing we did today, though, was we had our big basketball issue. The sports section will only do like 3 or 4 sections dedicated to them a year. And this section was all basketball based. And so we did previews of schedules and breakdown of rosters for both the men's and women's team. So check it out. If you can find it either on the paper or on the website. We got a lot of great content there.
Yeah, no. Well, now you're going to be helping us bring some great content here, Carson, too, as well, man. So in a little bit different style for sure. Obviously, more of the video, more of the hot take side for sure. But Greg, what's going on, man? You doing all right?
I apologize. My body is still on West Coast time. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, listen, I get it. Because what you were sending, I remember you were sending in the group chat picture of you having a drink at what'd you say, 5:30 in the morning Western time or
Doesn't
time,
matter.
right?
Doesn't matter, sir. Doesn't matter. Whatever it takes to get this team a victory.
That's right. Well, that's what I'm saying. So are you going to stick with 5:30 Eastern time, or are you just going to stick with having one at 5:30 Western time?
That's a one and done, my friend. One and done.
All right, good deal.
I will say, West Coast though, I obviously prefer the East Coast, but when like sports watching on the West Coast, when you can get like those late games are over by
8.
They're over by 8:30, yeah, and then you still have the rest of the night. That's pretty nice.
Well, some of you don't start drinking at 6, but yes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, true. But anyway, though, y'all, for those who have been here before, you know the drill. But for anybody who's new, make sure to get any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns. Make sure to get them in the chat, and we will discuss as many of them as we can here today on the show. As we got a lot to talk about. It was a great weekend for NC State athletics in general. I mean, obviously, we're going to talk a lot here to start off with football for sure. As that is definitely the highlight, but I mean, we got to give softball its rightful love, volleyball its rightful love, soccer its rightful love. Yeah, no, men's soccer. I'm telling y'all, I'm going to do my victory lap once again. I have these feelings with these non-revenue sports. I'm just saying. So, but let's get into it though. 24-23 win for NC State over the California Golden Bears, and as you can see from me, hashtag Pear Attack Bear Snack. So, thought that was a pretty good one. But Greg, I mean, first and foremost, now that you've been to Cal, if I were to come to you and say, Greg, should the California Bears football game be on my bucket list? What would you say?
I guess. All right, let me see here.
Keep it real here. Keep it real.
If you love the smell of weed, then yes, it should be.
Is State playing?
It should be on your bucket list. That place reeks.
Oh,
and I thought
really?
DC was bad.
Wow.
As
that's
my
hilarious.
buddy Ken said, it's a little gritty there, and
Mm,
yeah, stadium was half full. Not a lot going on. If you were there 2 weeks ago when Miami played there, I bet it was pretty electric. And so you have a team that's just come off of 2 losses previously to ranked teams, and a 12:30 kick.
yeah. Yeah. Well, first of all, I mean, I gotta give a shout out to Michelle, who's again one of our amazing followers, saying "Woohoo!" It's truly a marvelous Monday after a Wolfpack win at Cal on Saturday, and CJ being named ACC Rookie of the Week. And I'll still give him a little love as welcome back, Kens. Welcome, Carson. Appreciate y'all. And Ken's glad to have you back off of IR. So
Back
glad-
Right, thanks.
I like
bringing
that
you
one.
back in.
She's out of
So,
concussion protocol.
Right, I'm
That's
good now. We're all good.
we got you back safe and sound. So to talk all things NC State, but so Carson, let's jump into it, man. Initial thoughts here about this game. Would you say that offense or defense impressed you more after looking back at this game?
I would say probably the offense, because especially in the fourth quarter, they were in a big hole being down 13. But I mean, they just kept pushing it. CJ played really good for a freshman. I mean, he had his, let's say, plays during the game where he stayed in the pocket too long. But I mean, he's a freshman. You expect that. But still, he showed off why he was a very talented high recruit coming out of high school. And just the poise that he showed, and calmness throughout that. I mean, this guy's for real.
Yeah. No, I mean, kind of going over his stats here, and then Ken's, love your thoughts on him. But through 25 for 36, so a 69.4 completion percentage, 306 yards passing for 8.5 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. PFF gave him 4 big time throws, which is 4 basically like dimes, basically, that PFF gave him. Only 1 turnover worthy pass that basically could have been an interception, but wasn't, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good breakup by the I think it was Anderson. I think broke up that. Yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, again, great stats for sure, and has truly improved week on week. I think now this is his second game in a row where he's throwing over 300 yards passing. So, Ken's thought on CJ Bailey right now?
I think we found our quarterback for the next few years.
Hopefully,
I don't see why we need to go find another one in the transfer portal. Like Carson said, he did freshman things like he's going to do, and not all of them were his fault. But I feel like this was his outbreak game to actually see like he can be comfortable. He trusts these guys, because you saw him targeting Dakari, Noah. You saw him target everybody we had on the team. It wasn't just KC. So I feel like that, and just seeing the passion that they had after like every touchdown and on the sidelines, it's like that's the team we've been waiting for. The sidelines has been dead for the past 3 weeks. So I'm hoping that win at Cal not only brought CJ out of his shell to be able to like make those throws and make those passes and not be scared, but also brought this team out to be like, okay, like this is our turning point. Let's go out here and let's win out. So I'm excited. I'm glad it's a bye week, because I'm glad I don't have to stress, but I'm also going to miss being in Carter Finley this Saturday.
Yeah. The target split for this game. I mean, I think going into the season, it really looks a lot like what we were hoping for as State fans and expecting, aka a pretty even split. Hollywood Smothers got 6 targets, Justin Jolie, rightfully so, 6 targets, KC 6 targets, but then you have Dakari Collins 4 targets, Terrell Anderson and Wesley Grimes and Noah Rogers all had 3 targets too. So I mean, you literally had, if I can count here, 7 players with between 3 to 6 targets. So, I mean, a relatively even split. And each one of them, I would say, was pretty productive. I mean, Jolie showed why, in my opinion, he's one of the best tight ends in college football right now. Hollywood Smothers continues to be on the rise. Wesley Grimes, has a phenomenal back shoulder catch. So, I mean, would you say that, hopefully this is, more of what we can see going into the last few weeks of the season?
I mean, I do. I feel like bye week is just going to be them fixing the little small issues that they had against Cal, and hopefully Stanford will be our game and especially on homecoming, will be our game to be able to come out and absolutely ball out before Duke comes to town. And I feel like the rest of the season, these are really good teams that we can beat and build our confidence up each game.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it.
And I think in this game, you really saw kind of a shift away from trying to run the ball, which hasn't been a success pretty much at all this year. Which I think might be the kind of the key. Instead of trying to balance it more, I mean, you're just going to have to rely on the pass with the way CJ is progressing. And then obviously we know what we have at the skill positions. And with the backs we have, like Smothers, his big plays came on catches, right? I mean, you don't just have to hand the ball off to them. I mean, get them involved in the passing game too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But Greg, I mean, Michael kind of mentioned it, but as a team, we had 24 total rushing attempts for 62 yards, an average of 2.6 yards a carry, and the only rushing touchdown came from KC, not even technically a running back. So, I mean, is it almost like kind of like Michael was saying, like positive that, all right, even though we weren't productive running the ball, that we could still find a way to get a big win? Or is it, I still don't really like to see this, that we were so reliant in that game on the pass?
Yeah, it's probably not the formula you want to win with, but when you win with it, you'll take it and get the heck out of town.
Amen.
That's a great way to describe it.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, Cal's defense is good. I mean, they are a good defense. So again, you kind of, we talk about balance, not balance. And I always say the heck with it, just go with whatever's working for you. And I thought, we ran when we needed to run to keep them honest, but we were most successful with, getting CJ out and just getting him to throw the ball around the yard. I think he threw it like 36 times. Now, I thought we did a great job too of just getting more vertical as a whole. Not so many of these dink and dunks around the line of scrimmage. We got Casey out in space. I just thought
out in space.
Yeah, so for me, I thought we were more balanced passing, if that makes sense, because we got our guys and we got them moving down the field, and you saw the explosive potential, I guess, in this game, and then just a lot of big time plays on 3rd and 4th down. We were almost 50% on 3rd down, and then we were 100% on 4th down. So when the chips were down, we made plays.
Yeah. No, I mean, definitely, it's not what you want to see, where we have, if I'm looking here correctly, we have 2 different offensive linemen, Ja'Carry Speak and Tim McKay, that had literally the 2 worst run blocking grades per PFF for the entire team. So definitely not what you want to see. But I mean, got to give shout out to Zeke Correll, though, as he had by far his best game, was truly dominant. I mean, PFF got named to the All ACC PFF team. So love to see that. And again, I mean, it's what we're expecting. Again, it's just like we were saying, before the season, if you had shown me these grades, this game,
I wouldn't be shocked.
I'd be like, yeah, that's what I expected.
Yeah.
I expected Zeke Correll to ball out. I expected a great distribution among the talent. So, Greg,
he even got dinged up. No, he even got dinged up in the middle of the game and came back, and I don't think it was too serious, but the fact that he was dealing with a little something and still turned out that performance. It's just a blue collar guy just getting things done.
I think we also need to hype up our defense too, though.
Oh yeah, no,
our defense killed it on Saturday when they needed to.
Well, and especially since they didn't have the best start either. Before we jump to the defense side, I want to highlight a couple of comments here real quick. So first of all, coming from our man Macon saying, Greg, how the heck are you back home already and on the show tonight?
That could have been Lindsay. You never know.
It could have been. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, she's definitely Macon. How the heck?
No. Lindsay's definitely the expert in that couple. So
she's the true fan.
Hey, buddy, we're thinking about you too.
Yes.
No, just a fun time. I look, if you've not done it, go out there. I know Ken's tried to do it a couple of years ago when UCLA punked out.
That's why I didn't go. I'm not going back. Why would you say that?
I'm still feel sorry for you. I still feel sorry for you. No, it was a good time. A lot of red. I know Carson's dad was out there, and I ran into him. We had a great spot to rally at a place called Raleigh's Pub. So, if you're ever looking for a sign, that was the place to be.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was fun. I'm a little tired today, but we'll get through it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Go ahead, Michael.
I would just want to touch on Greg. You said it earlier that Cal's a good team. Like they're 0-4 in the ACC, but their point differential is like -9. Like they've lost games by 1 or 2 points. Like metrically, like I think they're still like even after this weekend, they're still top 40, top 45. I mean, we're in the 80s if you look at our metrics. So I think that was kind of I think that's kind of a bigger win than it kind of seems on the surface.
Yeah. No, I mean, lost to Miami by 1, lost to Pitt by 2, lost to Florida State by 5.
That's their worst. That's the biggest margin also.
Yeah. Florida State. Yeah. Ironic.
Florida State. Sheesh. So, no, couldn't agree more. And, even to Carson as well. I mean, one thing that kind of, I think was honestly the biggest win for me was not necessarily like, I kind of took this with, it's like a storyline, but definitely wasn't what I wanted to see where, CJ Bailey in the Wake Forest game had an opportunity to, kind of take that next step, kind of show some maturity with the final drive. And I know that obviously, do we know necessarily for sure that the interception was 100%, CJ's fault? No, but I mean, it wasn't like he necessarily got hit, but just a misread, whatever that may be. But the fact that he was able to, be in a situation down 13 in the fourth quarter and have, one of the biggest comebacks in the Doran era, even bigger than our.
No, it is the biggest.
It is the biggest win.
Yeah.
The biggest
I think
win.
so. Yeah.
Biggest comeback win.
On Twitter, it said
Biggest
that the
comeback
last
win.
one was against Florida State in 2012.
Yeah.
And it was the same score basically.
What in
and that was
this is Carson's question. Let him answer. He's new here. Let's show him.
No, but I mean, Carson, would you say that that this was maybe a huge step in terms of CJ's maturity level to see him settle in and make the plays that he needs in order to complete the comeback?
Yeah, I think definitely. And also it might have to do with the situation as well, because being down 4 with a minute left is definitely different than being down 2 touchdowns at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And so you still have time to process that in the fourth quarter. Whereas in the last minute of the game, if you're a freshman, you're freaking out.
Yeah.
Sure.
Case in point, Cal's kicker.
Yeah.
No, it's true. 28-yard field goal. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, Carson's right on. The pressure feels a lot different earlier in a game, all right? Vice the last minute where you're pressing a little bit more, the emotions, the feelings, all that is in you. And, sometimes you'll just press a little harder than you need to.
Yeah.
And that happens.
Even though it is, even though 13 versus 4, you get 1 touchdown, you win the game, but you only have 1 shot at it.
Yeah.
Right. It's a good point. It's a very fair point. And also, too, Michelle pointing out, it's evident the receivers trust CJ and vice versa.
100%.
Yeah. No, I think
easily. The whole team trusts CJ. Like, you've seen videos they posted on Instagram all day today. Like, that whole team, that's our quarterback, 100%.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I'm ready for the next. He's going to be a dog. Please don't let him leave.
Yeah.
NIL.
Right?
NIL.
Put
Yes.
your money in, guys.
Let's just go ahead. Yep. No. It's like creating a financial plan for a big trip that you're trying to plan for a year from now. It's like, let's go ahead and start setting some money aside.
Can we put CJ on layaway? Is that still a thing? Can we?
Like we know it's not gonna be cheap. So let's go ahead and start planning for it now financially. So
can we PayPal, like buy now, pay later?
Right.
Can we do that?
It's like cheddar, what is it called? Like Zelle, I think, where you can pay like 4 installments.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna need more than 4 installments for CJ Bailey. I can tell you that much right now.
Yeah, no kidding. And then Greg, this one's for you, but Hunter being our little scoreboard saying go Bucks.
Don't tell me, I'm trying not to watch. I got it taping. That's cool though. I'll be there next Saturday or Sunday.
Go Panthers.
Oh boy.
Carson, next time you might want to move over to your left so you can cover up that.
Cover the other
one that's watching it.
Carson, don't let them do that. We are Panther fans. Do not hide it.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not hiding it right now, but I'm rooting for the Panthers, but I'm also rooting for just state guys in general in the
There you
NFL
go.
right now.
There we go.
Freaking Wilson.
Well,
Yeah.
and we'll get to that in our tweet of the week. But I also wanted to give a point. I thought it was hilarious when the head coach for the Panthers came out and said how we're sticking with Andy Dalton for next week. I'm like, well, no crap. Like, you gonna go back to Bryce Young? Heck no.
You
So
really can't.
I mean, my thing is what are you gonna do?
yeah, exactly. No, you're gonna stick with Andy Dalton.
Just throw everybody out.
Do you even have your number 1 pick? Didn't you give it away too?
I don't want to talk about it.
We still have it next year.
You still have next year's. Okay.
Mhm.
There we go.
Enjoy that number 1 overall.
Oh man. All right. So now
Back on track.
let's jump on over defense. So I mean, I'll be honest with y'all. Once again, when I saw first drive, 49-yard run for a touchdown, opening drive, I was like, oh man, here we go, Clemson all over again.
Yeah.
But whooping part 3, here it comes. And I mean, we stood on, I was very impressed. Again, just like the maturity to you get punched in the mouth, but then you come back, you make some adjustments and you lock it down. I mean, only what, if I do the math here, 16 total points over the remainder, 55 minutes of football. That's all day.
And I can argue 6 of those points should never have happened. And I'll go real quick. There should have been a PI call right before the end of the half on Bailey. He got hit twice when he was already on the ground. Totally missed that call. That should have been called. If you call that PI, that drive probably just stalls with the half over. You don't give up a field goal. Yep. And then the other one on the Rogers catch fumble, I don't think he ever really completed that catch. If they call that incomplete,
no way.
That field goal probably doesn't happen either. So again, you could argue.
Well,
Agreed.
And the field goal they missed, and then their own penalty let them take another one.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah. I was surprised that they didn't kind of continue to just run the ball after that. I mean, Mendoza, they threw the ball 42 times, and I mean, they were winning most of the game until the last 5 minutes or so. But I feel like that was bad game plan by Cal to go away from the running game, especially after they opened their first drive with that huge run. But
I mean, I think we finally saw Davin Van step into that captain spot. I think I finally witnessed it.
Once again, he's done it before. I mean, he caused 2 pick sixes, and one against Tennessee. And
but I'm saying like throughout the entire game, like he didn't do it like just when we needed it. Like that entire game, he was keeping the defense, like getting them ready, getting them out there, keeping them hyped. Like he was making the plays that he needed to make. He wasn't missing any. Like he misses some sacks sometimes, but I mean he was on it 100%. Him and Bishop.
He had those 2 sacks. He had one that was a sack but got negated for a hold on Bonner, and then I thought he strip sacked on that one play in the fourth quarter where they didn't even call it. I mean, you could see him kind of pull the ball away, and then he came up with it, and I don't know why they didn't at least review that, but yeah, it was a great game.
No, it really was. And I mean, again, just here's my other thing too, and again. And here's my Carson. I want kind of your thoughts on this. I think that for us on the Tuffy Talk side, we're pretty involved in that. We pay attention. We notice him more than maybe most. But I mean, I feel like Twitter, especially NC State Twitter, has become just like literally bot accounts.
Burner accounts.
Y'all see it. I get bullied on a daily basis from those freakers.
Well, I mean, like there's probably like what 2 or 3 accounts that literally just every single day say so and so many days since Doran shouldn't be the head coach, and like I get it. Okay, I get it before Saturday, but after that win, like, all right, maybe don't do it for a bit. You know what I mean? Like he just pulled off a huge upset. We were a 9.5 point underdog, and he just
10.5.
Oh, so it went up to 10. So yeah, we just went and beat Cal. And honestly, I'm sitting here saying, are we getting ready for 2023 second half once again, where we're going to a bye week and we just got a little bit of confidence, like. So I mean, Carson, do you feel that, or is it just here on the Tuffy Talk side that sees this?
No, I absolutely feel it.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. Appreciate you.
After the bye, we got Stanford at home, and they did beat Syracuse, but I mean, we should beat Stanford.
Good.
Especially with them coming East Coast or West Coast, East Coast.
True. Good point.
And then we host Duke, And Carter Finley is going to be rocking when we play Duke, because a lot of fans are going to be like, if Doran is 1-3 against the Blue Devils,
yeah,
that's not going to be good.
Point. That's a good point.
Yeah, so fans are going to be loud for Senior Day.
Plus, it's a Jordan Waters game.
Yeah, Jordan Waters revenge
game.
Yeah,
he can just go out and ball out against his former team.
Yeah, we got.
And then you got at Georgia Tech, but you have a bye right before that. Georgia Tech's offense is really good.
Forgot about that. We got another
Thursday night game.
Yeah. However, Georgia Tech's defense is abysmal.
Yeah.
And Hayes King, we don't know his status.
Yeah.
Ooh, good point.
Sure, yeah.
Very
that Georgia Tech game, that I'm definitely worried about that one because they can run the ball for sure.
And then Carolina, I mean, it'll probably be like 70-30 state fans in that stadium at that point.
That's gonna be generous to Carolina fans.
It'll be well into basketball season at that point, you know.
Yeah.
Carson, you belong here, my man. You are here, my man.
Hey, by the way,
as Carolina fans say, it's just another game to them. And guess what? They're gonna play like it.
Yeah.
Nope. Agreed.
So Carolina hasn't won an ACC game yet, correct?
No.
No, I think they're 0-3. I think they're 0-3 as well because they had their bye this week, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
But keep in mind though, they're 2-1 versus group of 5 teams, so that's pretty good, right? 2-1. So
how long has it been since they've beaten us?
Hey, shout out ECU for firing your coach this week.
Well, and so since we beat Cal, can we finally talk, poke at our rivals a little bit, being like, hey, I'm just saying, I think it's the Ruff and McNeil curse. That's all I'm saying, Yeah. So you expect you're going to find better, and you have not found any kind of better, my friend. That's all I'm saying. 3 coaches later. Yeah.
Or third, I think.
Yeah. But here's my thing about Duke. I want to speak about Duke real quick. And honestly, I mentioned it last week, but
hold on. Are you speaking to all 12 of their fans?
And that too. Yes. Thank you, Greg. Yes. But all right, Carson, you know the segment better than I do, and I've mentioned it I've mentioned it before, but I'm gonna say it again because it really grinds my gears. And that is still the Duke and UNC highlight video where the Duke radio host saying, Duke has opportunity today to make the claim that they are the best football program in the state of North Carolina. And I'm literally taking that being like, are you crazy right now? Let's go over Duke's schedule they've played so far, shall we? Elon, Northwestern, UConn, Middle Tennessee State, Carolina, lost to Georgia Tech, Florida State. Whoa, that is just a grinder right there, my friend. But now they face SMU. Now
hold on. So they have. Let's go.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah, I didn't either. Actually,
like the only decent team is Georgia Tech, and they lost.
And Georgia Tech's not that good right now. I mean, they're still that Jekyll and Hyde team like they were from last year. And
I feel like Georgia Tech is always that trap game for anybody in the ACC, really.
So you have UConn, and so that's a group of 5.
Mm-hmm.
You have Northwestern, which might as well be a group of 5.
Yeah.
You have Elon, which wishes they were a group of 5.
Hey,
and then,
don't hate on my Elon.
No, they're fine. They're fine. And then you have them beating FSU, which should be relegated to a group of 5.
And Middle Tennessee State,
which is a group of 5.
Is a group of 5.
And then you lost to Georgia Tech, which is barely a group of not 5.
Yes, and then you were down 17-0 to UNC at halftime. So,
which we all consider.
They had I mean, a lot of those games they had to Northwestern. I think they had to come back in the fourth quarter to win that one too.
Yeah.
Which is playing basically in a glorified high school stadium because they're getting renovations to their field, which I think they had like 12,000 people there.
Yeah, exactly. So, but here,
because now we said all this, we have to go beat Duke.
Right? Like we really been running our mouths through. Let's chill out.
But keep in mind that before they face us, so now they'll host SMU. They have to go to Miami, and then they play us.
So they could be coming in on a
exhausted
2-game losing streak.
Playing in Miami. Cam Ward is a dog. I'm so glad we don't have
They
to play
keep getting
Miami.
bailed out, though. My gosh.
They do get
They
bailed
do.
out.
Like, that cat has only got so many lives.
That's
They
that's
do.
right. That's so true.
And I hate seeing CJ Clark, all of his stories he's posting. I'm like, traitor. What a freaking
He's
traitor.
he's barely playing.
Yeah,
He's
he's
still a
getting
traitor.
paid good to barely play. So
Yeah, he's
You know.
making bank.
That Miami Louisville game, there was just no defense at all. Neither team wanted to tackle.
That game
It was crazy.
They might as well put flags on them.
well, that's
Yeah.
why I was at church talking to a Carolina fan, and he was like, is Miami really that good? And I'm like, here's my thing: are they the favorite to win the ACC right now? Yes. Would I put money on them at all to win it all? Absolutely not. Because
I'd take Clemson over
their head
Miami.
coach is
I
still
think
their
if
head coach.
Clemson plays Miami in the championship game, Clemson wins.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Well, it's just I'm saying Dabo Sweeney versus
You will never hear
Mario
me say
Cristobal all day. Twice
Yeah.
on Tuesday. So
Yeah.
it's
I'm
as
not
simple as
doing
that. So, but anyway, though, Carson, though, before we jump on over to some tweets of the week here, real quick, man, I got a big question to ask you. You like barbecue at all? You a big fan of barbecue at all?
Yeah, I love barbecue.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
Are you
if
an
he had-
Eastern?
If he had said no, he'd have been right off. Like,
Well, I was gonna say, because I'd be like,
Exactly.
Carson, first of all, what are you doing? No, but now I do gotta ask you though, are you an Eastern barbecue or Western Western North Carolina barbecue guy?
I would say more Eastern.
Okay.
all right,
Yeah,
2
I
for 2 so
agree with
far.
that.
Yes,
I'd agree with
sir.
that.
Lexington
Well-
barbecue, different.
Well, luckily enough for you, Carson, whether you answered Eastern or Western barbecue, it doesn't really matter. Coney Gold's really got all options for both sides and then some, y'all. I mean, again, first of all, you got that dry rub, that Coney Gold dust, deliciousness. Again, all of your meat, you throw this baby right on there.
Meat.
Deliciousness guaranteed every single time. Easy enough. But then as well, again, I mean, me, I'm much more of that vinegar barbecue style.
Oh yeah.
That's where my money goes. So again, you get that Carolina Gold, Carolina Red Oconee Gold barbecue sauce, deliciousness. But whether you like mustard based, whether you like spicy, whatever you need, Oconee Gold's got you. So again, y'all, everybody, make sure to go click the link down in the description below. Even if you're listening to us, go to the down in the description, click that link, Oconee Gold, or just go to Google, type Oconee Gold. Use that code Tuffy Talk to get 15% off your entire order, y'all, and get all that barbecue sauce and dry rub that you can want. And I guarantee you will love it. Guaranteed every single time.
I missed not having it this past weekend, being out in California, eating all that foreign food they got out there.
Foreign food. That's right.
I will be doing some wings here in a little bit to watch the Bucks game. So I've got my stuff on standby. So don't tell me any more scores. But so good. So good.
So good. Deliciousness. So good. But anyway, y'all, let's jump on over some tweets of the week here and talk a little bit more football. But again, all things NC State, because guess what? NC State, we're blessed that we go way beyond just football, y'all. So let's jump into it. First one, we're going to change it up here a little bit. We're going to jump into NC State women's basketball, y'all.
So excited.
And this, honestly, this whole tweet right here is really grinds my gears. And that's simply because, so for those listening, this tweet comes from 94 Feet WBB, which is one of the, I would say one of the bigger brands in the Twitter world when it comes to covering women's basketball. And they basically gave the projected lineup where they had Sanaya Rivers at point guards, Isaiah James as shooting guard, which again, I think you could make the argument that those should be switched. Small forward, you had Zoe Brooks, power forward,
I would argue
Madison Hayes.
that should be
What? That's
Zoe point guard.
Point guard, yeah.
Anyway, sorry, keep going.
And Madison Hayes at power forward and Caitlin Weimer at center. So, okay, you could switch it a little bit, but I'd agree with that as your starting five for sure. Bench players, Amaria Jones, Lacey Steele, Maddie Cox, Lizzie Williamson. You're not even talking about Trigger. Thank you. Yes, Trigger as well. There's so many bench options and it basically gives the ceiling for this team as Elite Eight, which I'm like, that's insane. That's insane. If the ceiling of this team is national championship, if the ceiling of this team is not national championship, then we're just never going to have a ceiling of national championship, in my opinion.
I do have a concern.
This team is so stacked. Go
ahead.
ahead.
I do have a concern. I don't know if anyone saw, but Weimer's out for a little bit. So not sure how extensive that is. but that does, you start off the beginning of the season with South Carolina, so you're going to definitely want all hands on deck.
Agreed. Absolutely.
But yeah,
I
like this. I like this team. This team is going to be so good.
And that's what I'm saying here, Greg. Is I mean, ideally, I mean, as long as South Carolina, as long as UConn is UConn, I mean, I just don't know if we're ever going to have any more talent or any more experience than we will this year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And I could see also if like you're saying nobody's going to beat South Carolina. It's like okay, your ceiling's Final Four, but still.
Okay. But I mean, but basically, ceiling is saying like, what's the best? Like, if we just played perfect basketball the entire season, what is the highest we could go?
Yeah. What was our ceiling last year? First round exit.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
Seventh in the ACC.
What
8
and like. Well. And I want to bring up this tweet of the week next, and I think this kind of goes to my next point, where it's from in-state women's basketball saying one word describe this trio, and it shows a picture of Isaiah James, Madison Hayes.
The word is right there. It's fire.
It's fire, and mine was GOAT. I mean, like seriously, like in my opinion, have we ever had 3 players like this as talented? I mean, and I mean, like all of them are super are seniors, super seniors. All of them are arguably top 50 players in the country, and that's that's generous. So I mean, Isaiah James is top 10. Sanaya Rivers has the ceiling to be a top 10 for sure, and then Madison Hayes, again, she's a bulldog. Whether you need her to shut a player down on the defense side, or whether you need her to make a 3 or go to the basket on the offensive side, she can do it all. So I mean, just this 3 right here, I'm saying that's a Final Four trio right there, in my opinion. But
I mean, they've been to the Final Four. Like that is a Final Four trio.
Right.
That's another thing I like about them is like they know what it feels like to make it there. So I feel like they're going to be on this team to be like, look, like if we can make it there that last year, we sure as hell can make it there this year and most likely go to the national championship. So I feel like they're definitely going to be on everybody's butts the entire season.
You put Zoe Brooks in as well in the starting lineup. I think that really fits Coach Moore's 4 out, 1 in format for the offense.
I'm going to call it. We're going to go undefeated at home.
Yeah, I think so as well.
That's a bold statement, but I mean,
we don't even have Carolina at home this year, so like I don't even know what we're doing.
Oh man,
I wrote
that was a guaranteed win.
I wrote the breakdown for our schedule for women's basketball, and I think we're going undefeated at home.
What did you pick as the most difficult game out of those?
Notre Dame.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
either Notre Dame or Duke. I think maybe, but other than that, we're going undefeated at home.
I mean, just think about how the crowd's going to be. Like, it's loud in general. Coming off of a Final Four run, Reynolds is going to be deafening the entire season, and I'm so excited for it.
I mean, I've had. Oh, go ahead, Carson.
I can't wait for the men's and the women's opening night when they just put those banners up in the arenas. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
yes,
I'm so excited. Good. Got my tickets already.
Yeah, in fact, shoot, I will probably have to give my tickets away for the women's basketball banner unveiling. I forgot about that, so we'll have to. I'll have to come up with something good because I don't think I'm going to be. What night is that game? I just haven't had a chance to look at schedules yet. Is it a weekend game?
Either.
No, it's on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, of course it is. All right, well, those will be given away.
Yep.
Work.
You guys are gonna have to work for this one. That's for sure. We're not just gonna hand them away. So we'll have to come up with something good.
They're gonna be big. But yeah, I mean, Michelle pointing out women's basketball started unranked last year. Now they're number 9 in the country, and again, like Notre Dame is going to be legit for sure. No doubt about it.
It's going to be good. The ACC still going to be good.
What else is new?
You have Notre Dame. You have Carolina. I hate to say it. You got Duke. You got Louisville. I think there's like one more team I think was ranked. I'm just trying to run through my head. Did I miss any of them?
Florida State.
Yes.
Florida State,
yeah.
Florida State will be decent.
And then you also have Stanford, who Sarah Vanderbilt is gone.
That's true.
Cameron Brink's gone, but they'll still be decent. Miami will be decent. Syracuse, they were good last year. They should be pretty decent again. And
because Syracuse made the tournament, didn't they?
Yeah.
But
Georgia Tech's going to be decent as well.
Yeah, but we'll see what Syracuse does without their one star guard that came over with the new head coach that is like leads like for the top 10 and most points scored like ever in women's basketball, some crazy like that. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, again, ACC is going to be stacked. The ACC women's tournament is going to be phenomenal. Can't wait for that. But yeah, I mean, listen, I still stand on it that I think this team is going to be different. I really do think that this team is built to compete with the South Carolinas of women's college basketball. I think they could beat anybody this year, but I think the big key to me, and we're definitely going to be doing some women's basketball, men's basketball previews here, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But for me, if Sanaya Rivers could take a step forward,
100%.
national championship.
We need UConn Sanaya.
Yeah,
we need
Yeah.
UConn Sanaya. Yes,
Mhm.
not South Carolina or at UNC Sanaya. We need, UConn Sanaya. You got it.
To you guys' points, like this is probably all of their last runs together, and so if you don't do it this year, there's
You're
no
not gonna
turning
do
back.
it.
So you just leave it on the court and see how it works out for you. But
Yep.
if this team plays to the potential and like the newcomers we just mentioned in the 30 seconds that we did, there's a lot of talent, a lot of veterans, a lot of young folks. That's a good mesh for success.
Agreed.
I mean, going in, this feels a lot like how it was a few years ago with it being Cunane, Perez, Crutchfield, and Jones's last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I could argue even better, but I mean that's a bold take just because I think that especially Lisa Cunane, I mean
that center position is where
the
you're
difference maker. But again, I mean like if Caitlin Weimer does, what we saw her do at Boston University again, averaging like 18 points and 11 rebounds a game. So
and if
that translates, watch out. So
and then like the Swede girl and then Lizzie Williamson, who we didn't really see at all last year because she was battling with stuff. I don't know what you're looking for her. So I mean that center position is kind of the question mark on this team with losing River Baldwin. Yeah, if there's a question mark, that's where you would point to.
Agreed. All right, so let's. Ken's mentioned this a little bit earlier. We gotta give a shout out to our man Peyton Wilson, man, who was just absolutely balling out.
Panthers blew it with this, bro.
I think
30.
How many teams are in the NFL? 32. I think 31 teams blew it.
Yeah.
No, but like he was literally on a silver platter, right?
Yeah.
What? There was 3 or 4
linebacker from Kentucky.
You should thank the Carolina Panthers for not wasting this man's talent.
That's
what you
true,
should be doing.
I mean, our defense would be so much. We wouldn't have lost 40-7 if Peyton Wilson was on our team.
You're right. You would have lost 32-7.
No, he'd have stopped at more than 1 touchdown. Chill out. We'd have still lost. Like, don't get me wrong. Our offense isn't worth a crap, but our defense would have been way better.
He's only getting better too. Like, I mean, as you see the season going on, he's getting more reps, and his stat lines are continuously moving north in the correct direction.
He's literally at every play.
Yeah.
He's like in every tackle that is going on the field, and I'm happy for him. He reminds me so much of Luke Kuechly, and I love it.
He's a true Pittsburgh guy, though. I mean, I know he's not from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he fits in right there. Yeah,
he fits that mold.
Yeah,
he fits that like Mike Tomlin culture as well.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Just grit.
Plus, those fans are I'm glad he has that fan base.
He's a blue collar guy. Pittsburgh's a blue collar town. It's the perfect marriage.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and again, Peyton Wilson, the fact that there were 4 linebackers taken before him, it's just like, come on now. And one team picked 2 of those linebackers before.
Yeah, I think Green Bay did.
Yeah, it was either Green Bay or Dallas, can't remember. But
the question was never about the talent. It was just, can he stay healthy? And he was probably on a lot of teams. Sorry, he was probably on not a lot of teams' draft boards just because of his medicals.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's showing them all up right now.
Well, again, right here, these stats versus the New York Jets alone this past weekend: 10 total tackles, which led the team, 4 solo tackles, and only played 48 total snaps too.
Think about it; he was in on a tackle every 4 plays.
That's crazy. Just like NC State. That's basically what he did.
He made a tackle.
Yeah. So
he's different. We took it like we were very greedy. We had it very well when we had it at State.
And we're feeling it now.
We're really feeling it. Like, it's not that our guys aren't talented. Obviously, we're not saying that at all. But it's just that is a generational talent type of guy on the field and off the field. Like,
I mean, there's a reason why he won every defensive award except for one, and I still think that was a miscount. Like, I still think they said the wrong name on that one.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Also, before we move on with the NFL, shout out to my Naheem. His return is next week. Everybody be watching the Browns game. Nick Chubb, who? Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's the Browns.
I don't think anybody's watching the Browns. I know people from Cleveland not watching the Browns.
Well,
for sure.
I'm gonna be hyping up my bestie, so y'all join or not.
Hey, you might get some love too because with Watson out, they may be running the ball a lot.
I'm excited.
Yep. I mean, Michelle's saying with Peyton, like at State, he's always where the ball is. Yep. Amen. Yep. I mean, the guy is just a playmaker. He's a football player.
I can't wait for that pep talk he gives to the guys on Saturday against Stanford either. Like the fact that he's just going to be back in town, and he's going to be
the alpha wolf. I know they haven't officially announced it yet, but he's the alpha wolf.
Going to be the alpha wolf.
He's got to get his number retired or honored, not retired. We don't.
Yeah, the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, Ring of Honor.
And rightfully so. We have, I actually don't have a tweet of the week for that, but I mean, I think we called it. And I mean, we the conversation towards the end of Peyton Wilson's time and even afterwards was the conversation of, is he arguably the greatest, defensive player to ever play NC State? And I think linebacker wise, I mean, we're there for sure. But I mean, just
good linebackers.
But it's just so awesome. And so and rightfully so, again, for what this guy has done for the program, as a leader, as a player, that's what I'm saying. It's just really the whole package in general. We're not just talking about what he's done on the field, but also off the field as well.
Yeah, he loves NC State, and those are the types of players you want on your team. Like, just knowing that he's probably watching every game on Saturday. Like, he's going to support this team, even though that he's in the pros now. Like, it's not just that I was there for 4 years and I'm done. Like, no, he loves this university.
Amen. Absolutely right.
Reminds me of like Trey Turner.
100%.
Yep. Very much agree with that.
Oh, by the way, real quick, there's a documentary right now on Netflix with Trey Turner being profiled. So if anybody wants to go watch that,
do it to it.
Yeah.
So also too, this went back to the point I made at the beginning, where the 13-point deficit against Cal is the largest fourth quarter comeback win for Dave Doran in his tenure, surpassing the 11-point fourth quarter comeback against Virginia Tech in 2022, where another freshman quarterback who shall be unnamed also too led us in the comeback as well.
Rhymes with CJ.
Yeah, rhymes with CJ, and hopefully this story is way different than the story of the first guy. So, but also too for the basketball time, I wanted to bring this up as well, where it was announced that NC State men's basketball's trip to preseason number 1 Kansas on December 14th will tip off at 3 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN. And to that I say, well, obviously the media thinks this is going to be an interesting game. I mean, to be on ESPN, that says something.
That day, I was trying to pull it up, is crazy college basketball day.
Plus football.
And football? Is that the first weekend of the playoffs?
I think that's conference championship weekend, isn't it? Or is it the 7th?
That'll be the week. That'll be the week.
Or is the 14th you know what? 14th Army Navy game. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah, that'll be
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I had them backwards.
Wow. Yeah. So I mean, just super, super excited for this opportunity. So I don't know what you whispered there, Greg, or whatever.
I'll be there.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yes, you will.
I like the tickets. The cheapest ones are around $250 right now, because exams will be over by this time.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So looking forward to it, and again, excited to get the season started. Go ahead.
Yeah, that day is that college basketball day. 4 top 25 matchups. Louisville plays Kentucky. State plays Kansas. Like, it's just a crazy day.
We should have put that tweet out from last week when their uniforms were all just jacked up. They didn't have matching uniforms. It looked like they just pulled them out of someone's couch.
Yeah,
they were all wrinkled.
Seriously though, if nobody knows what Greg is talking about, just go look up Louisville team picture, and literally there's like this podcast that literally breaks down that players are wearing different jerseys. There was 2 players that were wearing number 1. They all looked like they were just tortured to be there, and then the head coach looked like a little bit too happy to be in a team picture. So
it looked like a hostage photo.
Yeah, it was
Greg.
really bad. It was really
Go
bad.
look at it. Go look at it.
I mean, that's what
Now I
the
wanna
podcast said
see it.
too. Oh, you got to. It's hilarious.
Now I wanna see it.
But honestly though, too, like that Louisville Kentucky game, like you know, if you think about just like if you just take out what you know right now in terms of what the current state is of Louisville and Kentucky, you think yourself, man, like Louisville, Kentucky, like that is a great college basketball rivalry right there. But then, I mean, it's going to be interesting with the fact that you know you have a new Louisville coach and a new Kentucky coach going against each other, both trying to, you know, save is a weird word, but you know, save or you know,
Just get
bring
their foot
back
out get started
bring
off on
back.
the right foot. Yeah.
exactly trying to just pull something out of this. So yeah, no, exactly. It'll be interesting, but excited for that game. Also got to give a shout out to CJ Bailey once again for getting named Rookie of the Week, AC Rookie of the Week, and rightfully so. Again, just super excited about the future of this guy, and we'll see what he does here against Stanford after the bye week. So keep this puppy going. Hey, we got 2 games over 300 yards. Let's make it 3. That's all I'm saying. And then Kirk Herbstreit giving us some love, saying his top performing teams of week 8, and he had us on the list of 7 teams with Georgia, Tennessee, Indiana, Illinois, us, Georgia Southern, and North Dakota State. So hey,
He had us as a super dog on the on College Game Day.
Yeah, he
Really?
shows love to us a lot. I love Herbstreit.
I gotta say, I mean, I wasn't. Here's my thing: is that so? What was it? 2 weeks ago that Lee Corso wasn't there for the Cal Miami game, I think it was, or whatever. No, it was Ohio State Oregon. He wasn't there for Ohio State Oregon, which I'm like, it broke my heart because I mean, anybody who knows a little bit about Lee Corso history, you know, I mean, those are his 2 favorite teams to pick with you know, the Oregon Duck and the Buckeye, and he wasn't there for that, and it definitely doesn't have anywhere the same magic without Lee Corso picking the headgear. It's nowhere near the same. So like honestly, I didn't even watch because I thought that maybe Lee Corso was having some issues, and so I was like, I'm not even gonna watch. But anyway,
Can we just go back for 1 second? I'm sorry.
What? Go ahead.
Yeah, go back to the players of the week. Davin Van was robbed.
What defensive lineman?
Yeah, I mean,
Powell Ryland from
the kid from Virginia Tech had a decent game. I mean, he had 2 sacks as well, but I don't know. I didn't get to watch their game, but I just felt like Van was very disruptive in our game. Like this. What did Van end up with stats wise? Does anyone have that handy?
I think he had 2 sacks.
Yeah, this guy did too.
I think
1 second.
Oh,
1 sack, 1 hurry, 2 total
only got
tackles.
credit with 1 sack. He should have had 2 sacks.
PFF only gave him 1 sack.
no, the Virginia Tech guy had 4 sacks against BC.
Oh, you know what? I was looking at the wrong game. It was BC they played.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Michael basically saying.
All right, fine. October 17th.
I'll accept it.
All right,
And
whatever.
cut. No.
Can we edit the live stream?
Man, my face when Michael said he had 4 sacks, I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
Well,
cool.
I was just because I remember I was watching that game. That was a crazy game too. But yeah, I remember them saying I think he's like top 5, and then he's got like.
Oh, there's that guy. Yeah, he had like 7 or 8 sacks going into the Miami game.
Yeah,
that guy's legit. Yeah.
Greg's like go backtracking really fast.
No, for real.
That
Like
guy's so good.
he's more of a linebacker than a defensive line, so you could make that up.
Greg went from he was snubbed to he's legit. That dude's legit.
Yeah, he does wear number 55, so that's garbage.
Yeah, he's a linebacker.
He's a linebacker.
That was funny.
But yeah, moving on to our next tweet of the week here. Got to give a shout out once again, as it seems like to be a weekly thing now.
Wait, did we just get another one?
Got another one.
Wait, did we just get another one?
Another one.
Can I do just DJ Khaled all night and another?
And another one. And another one. Yep, you could do it, and it's right. And I mean, it makes complete sense. Again, once again, head coach Lindsay Leftwich for NC State softball gets another top 100 commit for the class 2026 with the number 52 overall player in the country and one of the top softball recruits for the class 2026, and Reese Rourke, who visited during the who was the last home game
for football?
For football, that's when she visited.
Syracuse?
No.
Syracuse.
Yeah, she visited during the Syracuse game, and recently
Well,
committed
if we get commits
a few
when
days
we
ago.
lose, we must be pretty good.
I agree. So that now makes 4 top 100 commits right now for the class 2026. And that includes number 5 overall recruit in the class 2026 as well. So I've said it before. I'll say it once again. Within the next 3-4 years, NC State softball is going to Oklahoma City in the Women's College World Series. I'm calling it now. I'm telling you. I have a feeling it's going to happen. So,
Carson, you a softball person?
A little bit. I'm getting into a little more into it since coming to state. Going to a few games, but yeah, I'm starting to pay.
Well, yeah, no, I've said it. I've said it for a few weeks now. And of course, I know you've heard it, which is, if you better get on the train now or before it leaves you behind. That's all I'm saying. So, because it's Lindsay Leftwich is come to win. That's all I'm saying. So excited about that.
We need to get like a Leftwich hype train like meme going here because it's about to ready to leave the station.
Oh yeah, no, this season's about to be legit.
I went to like 3 or 4 games last year, and I worked the scoreboard for a couple of those. But in every game, I just saw our bullpen, and all the players just absolutely loving the game and loving each other and cheering each other on for every little thing they do. And so it was very obvious to me that Coach Leftwich has done a really good job at addressing the culture of the program.
Carson, all I know is if you work the scoreboard this year, you're gonna get carpal tunnel. Like we're gonna put up a lot of runs.
Yeah. Like the worst part as well is like if we get a run and then we get an out and like those were not very fun, pretty stressful, but I mean it was pretty fun for the other parts though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. So now I want to give a shout out to another team, the other team that besides gymnastics last year, the team I called for this year that was going to absolutely light it up, that there was not going to be a rebuild. It was just boom, right out of the gun. And that is NC State men's soccer now absolutely whooping number 10 SMU 5-1. Just absolutely smoked the number 10 team in the country at home.
That's like hanging a 50 burger in football.
Yeah, no, absolutely demolished them.
Yeah, I mean, it was like 3-0, like 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
They
scored fast.
And coming into the season, because I wrote the preview for men's soccer as well, SMU was probably going to be our biggest home game coming in. Because if you looked at their roster, they had an All-American from last year on their team. And soccer is one of those sports where if you're an All-American, you're not playing college next year. You're going pro. So the fact that we were able to not only beat SMU, but beat them to that extent shows a lot about what this team can do.
Yep. And I mean, just
if I can just coin real quick, Leighton.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we donkey stomp them. Can we donkey stomp in
That's
soccer
a donkey stomp.
5-1 in college soccer or soccer in general. 5-1 is a donkey stomp. Yes.
Do we know what the attendance looked like? Because I know they've been doing really good with attendance this season.
I don't think it was very good because it was like during the end.
Break.
It started during the end of the football game. So
plus they're on fall break still, right? Or they already come back from that?
No, fall break was 2 weekends ago.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But either way, though, again, just super excited about this team. I mean, they've only lost 2 games all year. Now they're 6-2-5, so they've won 6, tied 5, lost 2. But looking at
ties still count.
I mean, they tied number 2 Stanford 0-0. They tied number 24 Virginia Tech 0-0. Tied number 21 Hofstra 1-1, and now beat number 10 SMU 5-1. And they still have
and they got robbed in the Duke game.
And
that's right, they did.
Yeah,
lost 2-1 and got robbed.
I would assume. Well, I don't know all the rules about college soccer, but usually tiebreaker scenarios is goal differential. So 5-1, that's got to help the goal differential.
Very good point. Yeah. So there's still 3 more games though here in the regular season. They'll go to Williamsburg, Virginia to play William and Mary, come back home to play Louisville, and then go back on the road to play Wake Forest before heading to the ACC Soccer Championships, which take place November 6th through the 17th. So.
And I'm still learning soccer, and I'm still learning some of these other sports. Are we? Because I know they don't take the full complement of the conference. You have to qualify for the the ACC tournament. How are we with that regard?
So the men's tournament is easier to make than the women's tournament.
Okay.
So the men's tournament, I think like 10 around 10 teams make it. Women's tournament is like 6.
Okay. I knew it was not all of them, but yeah, okay. So we should be in good shape then, at least for the men.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pulling up the standings here right now. So we're towards the middle right now. In first place right now is Pitt, who's 5-1 in the ACC right now. So they have 15 points, but then we're tied for basically like the middle of the pack with SMU and Notre Dame at.
So we should have a tiebreaker at least over them.
Yes, we do have a tiebreaker over them. So yeah, because we beat SMU and I think we beat Notre Dame. I'll take a look back, but anyway. So, but at the end of the day, I mean, listen,
Progress.
Year 1 with Mark Hubbard, 6-2-5, right in the middle of the ACC. I mean, and right now they're number 23 in the country.
He's got to get some votes for Coach of the Year. He's got. I mean, right?
Oh,
Probably.
for sure. Got to. I mean, I don't know the criteria. I don't.
Yeah,
I know that. In men's soccer, the ACC
sports.
Well, in men's soccer, I mean, the one thing I do know in men's soccer, ACC is loaded. So especially now adding Stanford as well too. So, who's number 2 team in the country. But I mean, I would say, yeah, year 1 getting to number 23 in the country. That's got to be up there. That's all I'm saying. But either way, the one thing that is factual that can seem opinionated, but actually is factual, is NC State men's soccer is here to stay, and in terms of competing at the top of the ACC. That's all I'm saying. So,
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, North Carolina is such a hotbed for soccer, right? And so if you start, winning some, games and getting better, you think the recruiting is just going to take care of itself in this region. So that definitely bodes well. I mean, you're definitely still going against the likes of Carolina and Duke, and they're going to draw some folks, but this is a great start.
Yeah, no, it very much is. And also too want to move on to our last team that we'll give a shout out to here tonight, which is to NC State Volleyball, who's gone all the way up in the RPI, which is again basically what is it like a computer calculated based off of who you beat, who you lost to, all the way up to number 33 in the country. Which some RPI notes here, that is the highest RPI ranking for the program in program history. The previous high was sorry, correct me. Let me back up here. The highest RPI ranking that the program has ever achieved was number 27 in the country, which was achieved last year on October 2nd, which they were number 27. In that poll, the pack checked in at 60, but now they jumped up 27 spots here to now number 33 in the RPI after beating both UNC and Duke last weekend. This October 21st poll marked the second week that the pack is number 33 in the RPI. So they've stayed number 33 over the last 2 weeks. So, which is huge. So again, just love seeing what this coaching staff and what this team has been accomplishing. And just goes to say once again, how well-rounded of an athletic program NC State has right now. There's pretty much every single team within NC State right now is doing so well. Love to see it. Now, women's soccer shown some positives, but definitely isn't what we have come to expect from like 5 or 6 years ago, where they went to 2 Sweet 16s 2 years in a row. But we'll see there. Obviously had a huge win this past weekend against Clemson, 1-0. So we'll take that. But I mean, Carson, obviously Stanford, I think we can all agree is, just by the stats alone is kind of the measuring stick, or in terms of the eliteness of having a overall athletic program. But I mean, would you say that we're kind of setting up right now? Well, actually, but see, I say that football is, and we'll see how football wraps up here. But I mean, football can turn things around here. I mean, would you argue we're setting up to have one of our best finishes in the Directors Cup?
I would say, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gymnastics is looking good. Wrestling, yes. Replacing Trent Hilday is not going to be easy.
Trent Hidlay.
Howday. That's
Hidlay.
Okay.
Trent Hidlay. You got it.
Good.
You can't. Hey, listen, Carson. I'm huge about my in-state wrestling, man. That guy is a top 5 wrestler, even though he told me directly I am not. I don't even belong in that conversation. I said, Trent, Yes, you do. Yes, you are. Accept it. So yeah, no, all good. Sorry, go ahead, Carson.
I mean, women's basketball is going to be women's basketball.
Yes.
Men's basketball should be pretty decent. I don't know if they'll make the Final Four again and have that magical run, but
What?
we'll see.
Come on.
Tough to predict.
Serious.
Yeah.
Well, it's not marked yet. It's October.
I know. That's crazy.
Boom.
Boom. Take that.
By the way,
yeah.
I'm disappointed in GoPack.com right now because can I get a what grinds my gears?
I got you, Ben.
You know what really grinds my gears?
The GoPack.com women's cross country trying to figure out how we're doing. Like if you look at the schedule, it doesn't really have a complete like results here. Like there's been meets that have already happened that it doesn't really say how we did.
Yeah.
You can go click it on the recap, but then I was like, okay, now I have to read. I don't want to read. Like show me.
Well, that sounds like a you problem, Craig.
but it doesn't show like in all seriousness like how the women finished as far as like overall. So I don't know how we're really doing. You know,
I've found the best way to keep up with it is just go to the team Twitter page more so than the GoPack schedule.
There you go. And knowing is half the battle.
True that. But anyway, want to first of all bring up my fun little meme that I generated here today. Is it's basically been a joke among or a thing that's been pointed out on Twitter by multiple different people, which is that Nico Iamalieva from Tennessee right now has 1,413 passing yards and 8 touchdowns in 7 games. CJ Bailey has 1,376 passing yards, 8 touchdowns in 6 games. So literally, if I could do math here, 37 less passing yards, the exact same amount of touchdowns in 1 less game. But yet Nico is looked at as a borderline,
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. And then CJ Bailey is not even, worth a page in any kind of media outlet whatsoever. But yet it's, they basically have the same stats. Yeah,
context. SEC, ACC.
Sure.
That's gonna be the talking point.
Right.
It just means more.
Nope. Agreed.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. And me and Michelle saying state fans will lose their minds if men's basketball goes to another Final Four. Yeah. No, that would be.
I don't think we'd have to travel as far. I think it's in Dallas this year, or San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Dallas is easy.
San Antonio.
It's going to be tough without DJ Burns and DJ Horn, but I mean, new crew. We'll see.
You never know. Just saying.
Why not us? Part 2.
Why not us? Amen. Now, lastly, I got to give a shout out to my team, my homies and the NC State football equipment crew, doing laundry at 4:34 in the morning on Sunday morning after the Cal game. So literally after a long plane trip back, doing laundry at 4:34 in the morning. I guarantee you, this picture right here was not when they were about done. They were just starting. Like I guarantee you, they were not done before 6:30 at the very earliest. It was probably 7 o'clock in the morning. They probably got done with laundry. Just saying.
Yeah.
Like we got a bye week. They couldn't wait till
gotta get those grass stains out, baby. Gotta get those artificial turf out. By the way, did anyone see the picture of Cal watering the artificial turf last week?
No.
No, that's funny.
They did though.
They did.
Yeah, I think I've seen that before. It's to keep the
tire particles.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna make fun.
But
of
it is a funny visual. It's like why?
Yeah, those crew managers were sleeping hard on that plane back because they knew that they were gonna have a long night in for them. Just shout out the whole the truck team. Getting out, leaving Sunday morning early to get out there and. So it's a team effort to get 3,000 plus miles and go get a win. Especially when you're as a team just reeling like that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to someone who probably doesn't get shout outs very much. I'm trying to remember his name now. Sorry, Jason Vick. Jason Vick, huge play on that 4th down play in the first quarter. One of those unsung heroes that you think early in the game just makes a nice little 4th down stop, but it's a big play, sets the tone. So guy that's only had 5-6 tackles in the whole season made a big one. So I thought that was, I love seeing guys that are kind of unsung heroes, those role players, and
his name's
it's good to see. Jackson Vick. What did I say? I even have it written down.
He got the shout out wrong. Jackson.
Can we edit this again?
Jackson Vick.
What did I say? I know I said it wrong now.
You said
Jason. I have it written down here too. I have it in my notes here, and I totally can't read. It's been a long 3 days, man.
I get
I think Betty deserves a little shout out too, because he missed the tackle on that first touchdown, but he also I think he was the one who made the tackle on the last play to stop him short.
Yeah, I had that. Bishop, are we not shouting out?
I had a couple here. Yeah,
he killed it too.
Yeah, Betty got washed in that opening run, and then he came back and he was key on the intentional grounding in the fourth quarter. Yeah, and then made a wide open tackle because that was either going to be a big play or a touchdown.
The fourth down. I think that was the fourth. No,
that was the third down. That's before they tried to kick the field goal. It led to fourth down.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, not really sure what if this is necessarily legit now with Fred Wood saying what's the word on Grayson McCall, but
I don't want to go there.
I don't want to go there either. Yeah, I mean, just listen. Yeah. I mean, just it's. I think reading between the lines again. I mean, Doran hasn't necessarily said much of anything about it, but I mean, he's at practice, but more in a coaching role, and after what he went through, I just listen.
I don't think we'll see him again.
We're just glad he's healthy at this point.
We're just glad he's healthy. We're glad he's up and about.
He was there in California, doing his part. He was on the sideline, cheering on. He and CJ have a phenomenal. You could just tell because they're still talking to one another. I think at this point, Grayson's going to be just a great teammate and try to get CJ where he needs to be.
That's right. Yep. So anyway, y'all, well, again, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Carson, I mean, first of all, your first show, I mean, what would you say? Pretty fun stuff. Maybe come back next week.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Hey, well, and especially too, man, again,
hold on, Carson, we're gonna need a little bit more like enthusiasm here.
One more oomph, one more oomph. Nah,
give us it one more time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
There we go.
Next week.
There we go.
That was funny.
Oh, Greg. Still
hey, by the way, shout out Jackson Vick.
Oh, nice.
Nice, Greg.
I would have died if he just said Jason again.
Yeah, no, 100%. But again, just again, everybody enjoy this time, y'all. It is a great time to be an NC State fan for sure. Hopefully this is a start of what's to come for NC State football and not just a blip on the radar. And then, you got basketball coming up again here soon. Men's soccer is kicking it. Volleyball, make sure to go and support them. Again, and we didn't even mention baseball in terms of Directors Cup, but watch out for baseball. That's all I'm saying there too. So, but again, Wolfpack Nation, do us a big favor. Make sure to go support our amazing sponsors at Coney Gold. Make sure to go to either Google search them or go click in the link in the description. Use that code Tuffy Talk to get 15% off your entire order, y'all. They do amazing stuff for us, and the least we could do is go and tell our amazing viewers and supporters to go and support them, and you will not be disappointed. I guarantee you that. And then make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, as we got some amazing content coming up here very, very soon. I know we've been falling a little bit, but there's been a lot of stuff here on the side. I mean, first of all, I got to give a shout out to our brother Macon Adams, who's again still dealing with a lot of stuff. I won't necessarily get into the details, but just we'll say once again, any prayers, thoughts would be greatly appreciated for our brother Macon Adams and his wife Lindsay. And we're missing them. Love them for sure, and definitely wish they could be here with us to support and enjoy a huge win against Cal. But really appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you give us a follow. Tuffy Talk Now, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And we'll see y'all soon. And again, appreciate everybody tuning in. And as always, go Pack, y'all.